Greetings, Berkshire County. Thank you for joining us. I'm here today, in case you can't tell by his shirt, with Charles Hirsch. And you're developing. Give me your title exactly for the Special Olympics.
Sure. So I'm the Director of Development for Brand and Marketing. Basically, I'm the brand marketing communications guy for the state.
I've come to know, I think it was 2 Saturdays ago I covered the Humvee push, what we're going to get to.
Yeah.
But I've come, the research I've been doing for the interview and to cover that story, I've come to learn so much more about the Special Olympics, and it's really opened my eyes. So Charles, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to have you guys in. I heard about the torch run a long time ago. This is the law enforcement torch run, and it's the biggest fundraiser, I believe. Is it nationwide?
Yeah, so the law enforcement torch run, it got its name because it started as a torch run. It was police officers running the Special Olympics torch, the Flame of Hope. And what it's turned into is the largest awareness building and fundraising partnership for Special Olympics worldwide. They just had a conference out in Colorado where they brought in law enforcement and Special Olympics volunteers and staff members from across the globe to kind of work through best practices and figure out how they can support the organization and the athletes even more.
We're talking in the tens of millions of dollars over the life of this thing, I believe.
It might even be hundreds of millions.
It might even be hundreds of millions of dollars, and it started out. It's an Olympic-style torch run.
Absolutely. So they started out in Kansas, I believe, and they just wanted to rally support for Special Olympics athletes at the state level, and got a bunch of police officers together. I think they tied it to fundraising a little bit, just to kind of, like you would with a 5K. You raise a little money, you get to run with the torch, and it just kind of grew from there for sure.
And now a couple Saturdays ago, the law enforcement torch run is now sort of an umbrella in a way of fundraising, if I'm saying that right. So last weekend there was a Humvee, probably a 6,000-pound Humvee in the parking lot of Walmart. And there were teams of 5 people that had to push it. I think it was a total of 80 yards up and back. They raised a couple of $1,000s in the matter of a couple hours for the Special Olympics. Talk some about, and this was run by the Sheriff's Office, by the way. Jacob Gaylord was involved. John Bassey from right here in Pittsfield Police. Your colleague Stephanie Esposito was there.
That's right.
It was an incredible event. A bunch of people from the Sheriff's Office ended up winning. Talk about the Humvee push. It was the first one they had in North Adams, but they have it right here in Pittsfield, and they have it all over.
Yeah, so the Humvee push is kind of, as you mentioned, the torch run is kind of this umbrella, and then within torch run, there are a number of kind of themed fundraising events that they do, and either pushing or pulling vehicles seems to be a pretty popular one.
The best we could come up with. We watched the World's Strongest Man competition, and this is where we are.
That's right. So the Humvee push is a great addition to the Berkshires. The folks up in North Adams put on a great event. It was their first time, and so with those events, you never know. It's brand new. It's a Humvee push. What is that? Do I have to get friends? It's not just like your normal 5K. So the fact that they were able to raise over $2,500 in their first attempt is something we're thrilled with, and really thankful to the folks involved.
It was great. I know I'm definitely going to have a team next year, and I know it was, I don't want to call it last minute, but to raise the amount of money that they did for the first time they did it in North County was incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And locally, again, Wauconah Regional High School, right up the road here, they were recognized nationally for their work with Special Olympics. Talk about that process with Wauconah specifically, but if other schools wanted to get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. So Special Olympics is we're nothing if not community-based. I know a lot of people know about some of our more marquee events, obviously international, national level events, but we here at the state level focus on every community every day, and a big part of that is through the schools. And we've got an amazing relationship with high schools and middle schools and elementary schools across the state. At the high school level, we get heavily involved with unified sports, and that's bringing athletes with and without disabilities together. They compete on the same field at the same time together as on the same team. And here in Massachusetts, we're tied in with the MIAA. So Unified Track actually has a MIAA state championship level meet each year. We also are doing unified basketball interscholastically. So that's kind of the entry point. And then what Wauconah and other schools, like them have done is taken it to the next level and become what we call unified champion schools. What that is it brings three components together. They have the unified sports, so Special Olympics, we're a sports organization, so it's got to start with sports. And then they've taken that next step and brought inclusion into the school through unified inclusive youth leadership. And so there are leaders with and without disabilities in the school driving change, and they drive that change through whole school engagement opportunities. And so some will take on what we call an R-word campaign. It's to eliminate the use of the word retarded in high schools and in communities as a kind of demeaning term.
Yeah.
And so they kind of bring the awareness to the rest of their school. And so by hitting all three of those boxes, they become a unified champion school. What Wacona and 15 other schools across the state have done in the last year is taken that to the next level to be recognized nationally as what we call a unified champion school, national banner school. I mean, we can make these names a little longer. I'd be happy. But it's a really great honor. We're excited that Wacona has taken the steps to meet those criteria, and honestly, I think Wacona has kind of done it really quickly. Their involvement started a couple of years ago, and they have taken it on, the best that we've seen.
So that's right here in Berkshire County. Good for Wacona, and that steps up the challenge for the other high schools that might want to get involved. And the more that they can reach that level, Special Olympics is going to advance. And speaking of, and I said this to your colleague Stephanie when she was out here, I was under the impression that because it's the Special Olympics and it's an incredible program, that the government just wrote you some gigantic check. Yeah. Like a golf tournament check to handle all your events. And subsequently, the people I've talked to used to think the same thing. They must get a huge stipend from the government. Yeah. That's absolutely not true.
That is absolutely not true. Now, we do apply for and receive some government grants, and actually the schools program is one of those things. You might have seen it in the news back in early spring. There was some debate about the government's involvement in our programming. But for the most part, it is the funds are raised here locally through individual donations, whether it's through fundraisers that the law enforcement torch run are putting on, or just individual gifts through the Special Olympics programs, or corporate partnerships. We've got a lot of great corporate partnerships across the state, small businesses, large organizations, and then obviously some grants from funding agencies and things like that. But it's all raised here in the state for the athletes of the state.
So real quick, is it as simple as going on SpecialOlympics.org to get involved?
Yeah,
or to donate?
Sure, yeah. We'll always take the donations.
Yeah.
There's a nice big red button there, right, when you land on. So we're SpecialOlympicsMA.org, so that'll get you right to our state website. You can go to SpecialOlympics.org as well and work your way to us, but you can jump right to us by adding the MA. And then, there's a Get Involved button right there on the homepage. You can get involved, obviously, if you have intellectual disabilities, you can get involved as a Special Olympics athlete. If you don't have disabilities, you can get involved with sports as a unified partner. Obviously, we're looking for volunteers for all these great events, whether they're sporting competitions or the fundraisers. Law Enforcement Torch Run is always looking for new departments to get involved, but those folks always look for help from the community as well. And so there's a number of ways that you can.
So SpecialOlympicsMA.org.
That's right.
And give us a couple of your upcoming events.
Great.
Right here in Berkshire County.
Right here in Berkshire County on the weekend of October 9th and 10th. On the 9th, we're doing a Cop on Top, so you can visit Walmart up in North Adams and meet some cops there and hopefully make a donation. On the 10th, we have a 5K for those who are a little more athletic and want to take a run down in Lee. It's the Lee Sweater Run. You can pull on your holiday sweater. It's kind of the first holiday event that we're running. And then later on in the fall, in December, on the weekend of December 7th and 8th, we have a Cop on Top in Pittsfield. It's one of our biggest events of the season. And then way out in the spring, although you can sign up now, is the Polar Plunge. And here in Pittsfield, they took it a step further, and they're doing a Super Plunge. So you can sign up to just go in once, or you can sign up to go in once every hour on the hour for an entire day for 24 hours. So so you can sign up for that, and that's taking place in March. I believe it's the 28th and 29th.
I've done the polar plunge once. It's actually a lot of fun once you get it over with, so I really recommend it, or any of those events. Charles, I can't thank you enough for stopping by. That's Charles Hirsch. He's with Special Olympics. I'm Jeff Sununian with iBerkshires TV, and we thank you so much for joining us. SpecialOlympicsMA.org. Go find him. We need all the help we can get. Thank you.